What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shonen Showdown. I'm your host, Robinson. To the right of me is...
It's me, Jarrod. How you doing out there?
And today we're going to be talking about some My Hero Academia, man. Let's get right into it. We want to rank the big three of UA. You know, we have Mirio, we have Nejire, and we also have Tamaki. We want to tier them out for you guys, find out who's stronger than who, who's weaker than who, so keep it locked. Alright, so let's just jump right into this. How we're going to run this down is we're going to start with the strongest, and then we are going to go down. Right?
Okay.
So, we're talking about the big three of UA. Who sits at number one? I mean, this should be very, very easy.
It took me maybe like all of 2 seconds to figure out who was number one of the big three, and I'm going to say my son, LeMillion. You know?
Okay, LeMillion.
Mirio.
Obviously.
His quirk is like something crazy. You may think it was like it's something regular permeability, but the way he uses it and his training with Night Eye made him like a top fighter. He has experience, he has deductive prowess, he has an indomitable will, good charisma. That really brings out the All Might hero who smiles like outlook. You know, really something that is like crazy. We saw his fight with Overhaul,
right? And he was boxing.
He was putting in that work.
He was boxing.
The work was put in.
Night Eye even went up to All Might and tried to recommend him as being the next version of All Might. LeMillion's talent is just there are no bounds when it comes to him. So we know how powerful he is. We already know he has permeation. So not only can he fight great hand-to-hand combat by just moving through people's hands while he's punching, but at the same time, the man can go through grounds and walls and use stealth tactics. Like, he's just an all-around great fighter, great hero, can rescue. But now it's gonna get a little tougher because we are going on to number two. And this is where I'm not sure, hopefully we on the right track, but I think we may part ways. Who is the second strongest out of the big three of UA?
I think this one was also pretty, I want to say easy, but I put a little bit more thought into it. I would have to say my son, suneater, his real name's forgetting me. Tamaki, he's definitely my number two. I mean, his quirk itself, it may seem like kind of regular, but when his mastery is top. Fat Gum himself has said his power can rival that of the heroes that are out there now. His quirk is top. His mastery over it is pretty good. When we saw that Kraken mode, he was pulling out all the stops. Chicken, he was eating chicken. You didn't think about chicken finger talons mixed with octopus muscles to make him strong, and then the clam for like defense and offense. And he basically single-handedly put down all three of those villains from what is this? Shihasakai? Yeah. Those three people,
right?
By himself.
They're from Overhaul's camp. But I would like to point out that you are actually wrong. It is not Tamaki for obvious reasons. Very obvious reasons. Now we know he is, and listen, all credit where credit is due. I think his potential is high enough for him to be in that kind of conversation. I feel like mentally he's not ready yet. Because everyone already likes to mention how shy he is within the show. And I think that affects his ability to work at a high level, which Fat Gum pointed out. Even Kirishima having to step up and break out Red Riot Unbreakable because Tamaki wasn't elite yet mentally, right? When it comes to his fighting prowess, I think he's the most versatile of the group.
Yes.
But here's where the issue lies in. I think that Tamaki's quirk is too dependent on outside factors, on too many variables. Like, for instance, when they're attacking Overhaul's hideout, he has to have a briefing of who the opponents are going to be, what quirks they're going to have, and things of that nature, so he can prepare what to eat before he enters into battle, right? And that puts him in a position where I think there are certain situations where Tamaki, even though he is the most versatile, he has to be prepared, right? There has to be, listen, the way he got out of that situation was the person that he was fighting happened to have a crystal quirk, and he was able to eat that and use that against them, right?
So I can't.
But in certain situations, I don't know if he would get away. Let's say, for instance, the same quirk that was going against Racerhead, right? You had the person with the chronostasis. He had the quirk to slow down people, right? Yeah. And now that took down even a Racerhead Racerhead was taken out of the equation immediately. Let's say if Tamaki was matched up with somebody like that, I don't think there, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain matchups where I don't know if Tamaki is really ready yet. There's certain matchups where I think that he has to know what kind of fight he's going to be getting into, and at the same time, with that preparation, he has to find out, okay, what am I gonna eat? What am I gonna do? Like, and just because mentally he's too shy for me right now, I don't think I can put him over Nejire, who deserves to be at number 2. Let me tell you guys why. Not only is she a beast, and I know a lot of people are gonna sit here and question and say, well, during the the raid of Overhaul's camp, we weren't really seeing too much from her abilities, and I would want to question that, because the person that she was attacking for the most part was that large enemy that Overhaul had, who had the quirk to steal life force, right?
Yes.
And what is Nejire's quirk? Nejire's quirk is based off of her own life force. So we were actually seeing a direct counter to her quirk, which is why it was kind of making her look like she wasn't as powerful as she truly is. And the reason why I think she is more powerful than what we were seeing in the Overhaul hideout is because if you look at the fight prior, there were 2 villains who both had gigantification type quirks. Yes. And I mean, they are tall as buildings, throwing stuff down. Everyone was like, wow. All right, so you have the police force calling in, like, listen, we need to get heroes, not one hero. We need to get multiple heroes to come out here because this is crazy. And Nejire said, hold on, I got this, right? Used only 30% of her power and took both of them out in one hit, one shot at the villains. Yes. We have not seen, I have not seen Mirio one shot a villain yet. I have not seen Tamaki one shot a villain yet. So this is already, her destructive power is on another level altogether, yes. Right? But she's able to do that. She's able to lead, which I don't think Tamaki can do. Tamaki can't lead. Now. Mirio can lead. Tamaki cannot lead, right? Kirishima and Fat Gum had to step up multiple times throughout, whether it was the invasion of Overhaul's camp, whether it was fighting the village prior to that, because Tamaki's mental state isn't ready yet. Once I think, like, if Tamaki comes back, right, and he gets more confidence within himself, I feel like his fighting ability is going to improve so much more, and I think that's when I'll give him the edge over Nejire. But right now, when I look at Nejire's destructive power, I cannot sit here and say that Tamaki is a better hero than her. I just can't say it.
Well, this is a debate for some reason, so I guess we can begin the debate part of the show.
Go ahead.
And I just have to say, I do definitely agree with you. Her destructive power is definitely out of this world. We did see she take down 2 villains with, excuse me for speaking, 2 villains with giantification powers,
right?
Like with ease,
right?
And she uses a life force. So what I want to say is that in a battle of stamina,
okay,
how long will she last? And we see that Tamaki, he has the ability to have faith in himself, which is basically what your main thing is right now. His self-esteem is low, so you don't feel like he can maneuver himself in battles, and his preparedness is not there because he has to prep for the fight, eat certain things.
Right.
This man knows his own shortcomings of his quirk. He eats certain things every day, regardless of the day.
Right. He's gonna have a
basic.
He's gonna have he's gonna have certain. Yeah,
so
I'm not debating that.
And he has a pouch for
But look
other
at the
things.
Listen. Nejire can fly.
Yes.
Right. At the same time, we only got to see 30% of her power. Right.
And we're
take down 2. What? We're acting like Tamaki didn't go all out.
But what if he eats something that can make him fly?
I'm all right. So if he eats something that can make him fly, that's fine. Listen, I'm not arguing his versatility. I think this is where we're finding this is the disconnect right now, because I believe that Tamaki is the most versatile. He can go into any matchup and be prepared for almost any enemy if he knows beforehand who he's going to fight. Right? Yeah. Nejire can't do that. Mirio can't do that. But when I'm looking at Nejire's destructive power, I think that it has the most destructive quirk out of all 3 of them. I think her quirk has the most power behind it. It has the most oomph. That's where I'm going to come in, and I'm going to say I think she's second, because right now Tamaki doesn't even have the mind. He doesn't even have the mental state to even lead others. Where he's the one that's supposed to be teaching Kirishima how to, you know, be a boss, and Kirishima was showing moments to me where he looked more of a boss than Tamaki. I mean, and I'm seeing that's a big issue to me. That really is a big issue. But people where people are sleeping on Nejire is because they're looking at her quirk against somebody who has a perfect counter to her quirk, and they're saying, okay, she didn't really do much against this one opponent, so that means she's not powerful. And I'm saying, no, that one opponent was just the worst matchup for her. Like, bringing that up, anybody else, you know? Which we saw earlier, anybody else is getting one-shotted. I mean, we have not seen Mirio one-shot anybody. We have not seen Tamaki one-shot anybody. And especially on the scale of people that are as tall as big buildings within the major city. Like, these are high-level opponents that Nejire is one-shotting. So this is just a whole different thing altogether.
I mean, if we're... From what I'm understanding, you have power beats all on this scenario because of her destructive prowess and power.
No. If I thought power was beating all, I would have put Nejire over Mirio.
I mean, we can't do that because we know Mirio's deductive ability.
Right. He can overcome that because, like, and this is where the mental state comes in. Mirio has the confidence to go in there. Mirio went into he has the skill set. He has the hand-to-hand combat where he can go inside and make plays and do big things. Tamaki's hand-to-hand combat is not on the level of Mirio's. No. By any means, right? Once you're even seeing that when he was using, you know, that tentacle part of his quirk, right? You have one of the opponents, I think it was Tobe, actually going in there, eating the quirk and getting inside, and everyone was able to get inside on Tamaki. That's what Tamaki almost lost in that fight.
But wouldn't you say that guy was almost his match in that scenario? If we're bringing up just like Nejire.
How much food can he eat, and how many quirks? How many different, you know, abilities can he have within that one quirk? Multiple. So, what defense are you coming right now for him? Why are you defending him?
Why am I defending him?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying the man should. You're saying that, you know, Tobe was able to stop that, you know, that tentacle part, that tentacle ability. The man has how many other abilities does the man have at his disposal? You're the most versatile one. Nobody's supposed to be able to get inside on that person that can have many different abilities.
He wasn't expecting that. He wasn't expecting the guy to eat his octopus. He didn't expect him to have that quirk to eat his limbs at the time.
But that's my point. You got to be able to make plays. You think Mirio...
And he didn't make plays in that match?
Huh?
He didn't make plays in that fight?
No, he did, but that's what I'm saying. It was coincidental, though.
Because coincidental.
Alright, so if my man did not have the crystal quirk, what would happen?
He could have came up with something. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
He has complete control over his manifestations. He can change size and characteristics. He can do more of one thing and switch at a dime. He has complete mastery. If need to be, I don't know, because
when I watch somebody like a Mirio, for instance, right? Mirio goes inside. Mirio is attacking Overhaul, knowing that Overhaul had his goons to the left and to the right of him.
That's Mirio. That's Mirio. I'm not comparing
with one ability. He didn't have.
I'm not compared to Mirio.
He didn't have, you know, chicken feet, tentacles flying everywhere, clams. Like, he didn't have any of that at his disposal. I think that Tamaki probably has, you know, the most versatile and like the best quirk maybe out of all of them, because he can go into any situation, and because I'm giving him that as the Sun Eater, right? You have the best quirk out of the big three. There is no excuse that when somebody gets inside in close range, you're having problems defending yourself. There is no excuse. You should have at least one ability or two abilities max that are able to defend you in close hand combat. And if not, you got to be able to learn how to box, because Mirio is straight.
See, now we're comparing to Mirio, which I'm not trying to do, because that's a bad comparison.
You're putting him directly under.
Yes. But we can't. He's nowhere near. I mean, we can have a 1 and 2 spot like right here. There's still one above the other. I'm not comparing. He has no way right now.
So you're saying Mirio's like a 95 and Tamaki's like 83?
85, 80.
85, 80. So where's Nejire then?
Nejire's probably 80.
You're bugging.
She's right there.
Why isn't Nejire up? Why isn't Nejire up?
Because I feel like in a battle stamina,
okay,
Tamaki can probably like withstand. She can probably maybe at least give Nejire some trouble at the end of the day.
How is he going to stop an attack from Nejire? Nejire was able to take down 2 opponents in one shot.
One shot, yeah.
With only 30% of her power. Tamaki,
huge opponent. 2 huge opponents with no speed, no type of like other coordinated attacks, you know?
But I'm saying the opponents that Tamaki faced were not on the level of what Nejire was dealing with. Let's just call it for what it is. because these villains had the ability. They were breaking down the city in middle of they were destroying the city in their battle.
Yeah, just destructive power. That's it.
But I'm just saying, like Tamaki wasn't fighting anybody on that scale.
These villains had quirks that complemented each other. The theft quirk and the crystallization, and then the eating quirk all at once. If you're bringing up how you said Nejire is going against someone who has a direct opposite of her,
you just told me you agreed, and we agreed that he can eat multiple different foods.
Yes, understand
to have
that.
Multiple. The man
but we're
had
talking about at the time.
The man had a briefing before he even engaged in battle, so he knew he knew their quirks. He knew who he was fighting already. Yes. They already studied. The heroes did their homework. There is no excuse. You're going into a fight. Listen, Nejire didn't have anything on the big villains that she was fighting, right? She didn't have any info prior. Tamaki's going into a battle where he's studied, he did his homework, he knows everyone's name and their quirk, and he's ready to go. He knows they work together in a team, and he told everybody, go on ahead, I got this. That's supposed to be easy pickings. Like, I think if I'm leaving Mirio in that situation, I'm thinking he's leaving there without a bruise, especially because you know what I'm saying. Like I'm just being serious. I'm just being serious. Even if those people, those three actually acknowledged that they were trash. Let's rewind this, please.
Yes.
Those three acknowledged themselves that they were trash, but they felt empowered because they said, even though we are trash.
That was a mind state.
Overhaul makes us feel like we have purpose. Is that not what was going on?
But that was like a different type of thing.
Oh, come on.
That was like a mind state trick that Overhaul did with them.
Tamaki, if you're in the big three and you're dealing with trash who even agree that they are trash themselves, you gotta get the job done.
It was a battle of self-esteem. Okay?
A battle.
What's going on here? Yes, they said they were trash.
So you guys definitely let us know down in the comment section below, man. How are you guys ranking this big three?
Who do you guys think? Please let us know.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.